Deva, Sarvakayeshu Sarvada.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here, distinguished guests, participants, respected professors, and my fellow students. It is with utmost pleasure that I, Chinmay Mishra, and my co-host Shubhangi Shankar, on behalf of the I Am Nagpur fraternity, welcome you all to the 23rd Annual Convention of the Strategic Management Forum. Since its foundation in 2015, the Indian Institute of Management Nagpur has strived to create value-driven leaders, global managers, and entrepreneurs with strong conceptual foundations and an analytical approach that helps students excel in their chosen fields. Through its high-quality education, research, and industry engagement, the institution aims to address the needs of a modern India innovatively, thereby connecting aspirations and realities to attain benchmarks that are respected internationally.
Post the onset of the pandemic in early 2020, we are seeing changes in various economic indicators and large-scale disruptions in businesses across sectors, economies, and continents. Given the current scenario of the business, it has become imperative that the strategists make additional efforts to cope up with the impact of the pandemic as well as post-pandemic future. With this in mind, the 23rd Annual Convention of Strategic Management Forum seeks to engage academicians, research scholars, and industry practitioners in this very pertinent and contemporary theme, role of strategies for building and sustaining businesses in a disruptive world.
On this auspicious occasion, we request our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Rath, Chairman and Managing Director, MECL, Dr. Bhimraya Mitri, Director, IIM Nagpur and Conference Patron, Dr. Arun Aditya Sahai, Secretary General, SMF, and Conference Chairpersons, Dr. Saurav Pandya and Dr. Atul Pathak, to join us on the stage.
It's a holy tradition to worship our goddess Saraswati before any important event. So let's dedicate our prayers to Ma Saraswati and light the lamp. We would like to invite the dignitaries on the stage to kindle the auspicious lamp to embark on today's proceedings.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावर दण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sirs. Flowers are the bounty of nature, and they express the humility and tenderness of human emotions. They reflect both warmth and welcome. We would now request Director Sir, Dr. Bhimraya Mitri, to present the bouquet to Dr. Ranjit Rath as an expression of our gratitude and reverence. We would now request Dr. Bhimraya Mitri to present a bouquet to Dr. Arun Aditya Sahai. We would now like to invite Conference Chairperson Dr. Saurav Pandya to present a bouquet to Dr. Bhimrao Mistry. We would now like to invite Dr. Arun to present a bouquet to Dr. Saurav Pandya. We would now like to invite Dr. Arun to present a bouquet to Dr. Atul Pathak.
Thank you, sir. We would like to invite Dr. Saurabh Pandya, Conference Chair, to deliver the opening remarks for this convention. Dr. Saurabh Pandya is a faculty in the area Strategy and Entrepreneurship and the chairperson for MBA program for working professionals at IIM Nagpur.
Very good evening to all and one. Respected guest of honor, Dr. Aditya, conference patron, Dr. Bhimrao Mistry, SMF General Secretary, Dr. Arun, my conference co-chair, Professor Atul Pathak, the other invited guests and dignitaries, and the participants of the conference, my students, faculty colleagues and staff, invited media, and ladies and gentlemen. It is a complete honor and privilege to stand before you today on 28 December 2021 to give the opening note or remarks for the 23rd SMF Annual Convention 2021. Started in 1997, this organization has seen its own history, which we will learn over the other discussions and talks during the day. It is a wonderful thing, this journey that started about 7 to 8 months ago. And with all the uncertainties about the online and the hybrid and the kind of uncertain times that we are living through, it is completely, I would say, an achievement of many stakeholders and the culmination of efforts of numerous people involved that has led us today to start this program. We had the doctoral colloquium yesterday for the SMF 2021 jointly with the other big conference that is being organized at the same time in IIM Nagpur, that is the ISDSI Global Conference. We completed the technical sessions for SMF 2021, and today onwards, for the doctoral colloquium, and today onwards we have started the other technical sessions which are in progress till 30th December. It's a 2.5 days program, and I'm sure you will all benefit and go through the sessions, attend the panel discussions. There are 3 featured panel discussions, and the kind of interactions and insights that we all stand to gain over this 2.5 days are potentially quite interesting and looking something that we're all looking forward to. In terms of the learning that we have gained even before the conference begins, we at IIM Nagpur, especially starting 7 to 8 months back, and then moving from online to hybrid. We also transitioning to the new campus very recently, and finally, taking shape in the form of a complete program of more than 100 paper presentations that are to be scheduled. So the learning has been tremendous, something that will remain with me throughout my life, something that I will never forget, because it's the kind of challenges that we go through that probably mold us as better people. So without taking much time, I complete the opening note over here and hand it back to the MCs for the program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. A true welcome is never complete without warm words and warmer gestures. We would like to invite Dr. Bhimrao Mistry, Director IIM Nagpur, Conference Patron, to give the welcome address. Prior to joining IIM Nagpur, Dr. Mistry has served as the Director of IIM Trichy, following stints at L&T Institute of Project Management, Vadodara, MDI Gurgaon, IMI New Delhi, and BITS Pilani. A PhD from IT Powai, Dr. Mistry is serving as chairperson of various national institutions such as All India Board of Management Studies, AICT New Delhi, and the Innovation Committee, Bureau of Indian Standards, amongst others. He is also a member of the prestigious National Commission for cooperation with UNESCO. Owing to his great contribution to the field of management studies, he is the only serving IIM Nagpur director to receive the AIMA Keval Noharia Award for Leadership in Management Education. I request Dr. Bhimrai Maitri, Director IIM Nagpur, to kindly share a few words of wisdom with us.
Good afternoon, respected our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Rajji, the Managing Director, Chairman and Managing Director, Mineral Exploration Corporation, MECL Limited, Professor A. Sahai, Secretary General, Strategic Management Forum, SMF, my two colleagues and conference chairs, Professor Atul Pathak and Professor Saurabh Pandya, Professor Chaturvedi, Sridharanji, Sudeep Vermaji, and all the distinguished participants, faculty, colleagues, students, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to welcome you all for the 23rd Annual Convention of Strategic Management Forum. And you know that the Strategic Management Forum 23 years back started with great vision to build the talent pool in the area of strategy, because in 90s there was no such opportunity to train faculty members in the area of strategy. Mostly industry people used to come and teach a course called strategic management, and academically qualified or even PhD program was not available for the strategy. So in those days, 1993-94, with great vision, then IIM Bangalore Director KRS Murthy and Krishna Kumarji, you can see here Professor Krishna Kumar and Professor A. Sahai. So these are the people in those days, they decided to how to build the talent pool. And as a part of that, I think SMF came out with a small beginning, and today this is 23rd Annual Convention, and every year this Strategic Management Forum rotates amongst the IIM. And I was also fortunate enough to be the president of SMF for 3 years. The conference held, at Trichy and Lucknow and IIM Ranchi. So this Strategic Management Forum has trained large number of faculty members, and as a part of that, you may find some of them became vice chancellor, the directors, and you can find Srinivasan is here. He has recently taken over a charge of director of Jamnalal Bajaj, and Tripathi ji, Srinivasan ji is sitting here. Tripathi ji, who has taken a charge of vice chancellor. So many such great, alumni from this SMF, they emerged out, and this forum is playing a very significant role for building a talent capability in the area of SMF. So before going to proceed, let me briefly tell you, I was, before this inauguration, talking to our chief guest, Rajesh Agarwal ji. So due to unavoidable circumstances, he could not be, addressing, but he has conveyed the best wishes to SMF conference, and also he promised that, so I will be physically coming to IIM Nagpur and spending time with your faculty and students. So that he promised, and because of not well, he suddenly dropped. I got a message, but he has sent best wishes. And I must say that Rajesh Agarwal ji, when I was my previous institution, worked very closely, and he has a lot of vision for the Ministry of Skill and Environment, going ahead with changing a corporate world and also changing skill set, and today's skill set have fixed life, shorter life. So how to build the capability and upskilling, I think in the morning also, one of the speaker very clearly told upskilling is going to play important role apart from reskilling and also the learning, unlearning and new learning. So keeping those things in mind, the role of strategic management for building and sustaining business in a disruptive world. This is the theme of this conference. I am sure today our guest of honor, we are lucky to have Dr. Ranjit Rath as a guest of honor. And Ranjit Rath ji, I know last more than 1 year. And in true sense, if you want to, see somebody as a transformation leader, he is the one person. During the COVID, he has improved the profit manifold than the normal time. It is unusual time, unusual result. I think difficult time tells the great leader. True leader you can find out during the difficult time. That is the acid test. I think Dr. Rath has proven himself is a great transformation leader, and during the COVID time, I think he traveled a number of hours and also distance traveled. It has increased rather than decreased. And you know that mining, working in mineral explorations, so that areas open and also underground. So in spite of all the difficulties, he has not allowed to target go down. Rather, he has, kept a larger stretched goal and he achieved it. And we are lucky to have, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And another quality of Rath Saab, when I interacted, he is truly a born teacher. He is in the basically corporate world, but the latest knowledge and latest information, any part, he not only the alumnus of IIT Kharagpur, but he also he reads a lot, and you know that readers are the leaders, and that is how, if any latest information, if you want, probably we may not be knowing, but Rath Saab knows, and that is such a person. So who is in true sense, he is academic leader, and of course, no doubt he has proven himself as a corporate leader, but he is not less than academic leader in any parameters if you look at all the parameters of academic leader. So very rarest of rare persons we get, and I must say that we are lucky to have him, and we are going to get lot of insights, his experience, and also his whatever the insights as a part of guest of honor. So I am sure we are going to learn a lot. And apart from that, Professor A. Sahai, since foundation of SMF, who is the Secretary General, and I was fortunate enough to work with him at MDI Gurgaon. He was heading the strategy area. Even though he came from corporate world, Scooter India as a MD, but he moved to industry to academia. And under his leadership, large number of faculty bases were built as a part of forum and also in MDI Gurgaon. I think he will also share his experience about SMF and how the journey of SMF since 1994 to till today. And I must say that with the great effort of Professor Saurabh Pandya and Professor Atul Pathak, first time the record number of registrations have happened in the history of SMF here at IIM Nagpur by these two conference chairs. So I think the big hand for both of them. And apart from that, the constant guidance, support of Professor A. Sai and Rahul Goswami and Sinha Saab and Professor Krishna Kumar, in spite of many difficulties. He used to provide constant support. He's, I think, probably you can see him here. Krishna Kumarji is sitting there, former director of IM Kozhikode and former dean of IM Lucknow. His blessings are there for this conference. So I will briefly tell about IM Nagpur. So IM Nagpur is a forefront for organizing the conference, even though these two conferences are first time we are conducting just a 5+ year institution, but we have set a new benchmark for both the conferences. And this credit goes to all of you because of your wholehearted support and your interest, in spite of COVID guidelines and all, such a large number of people coming over here and online. Because of that, we could make this conference as a grand success. And this particular SMF conference, the topic role of strategic management for building and sustaining business in a disruptive world, it has 3 panels, and also this conference has technical sessions, large number of technical sessions, 2 are going to be parallel. And this particular conference also set a new benchmark. And IM Nagpur, this new campus, the built-up area is about 65,000 square meter area. Just we made it ready for these 2 conferences. Probably 8 days back, if you would have come, this hall would not have been like this. It was in a lot of equipment and machineries and construction and polishing. Probably you might have seen. So very shortest possible time, the contractor and our administration made all the arrangement to prepare this. So IM Nagpur, as you know, it is one of the fastest growing IIM, and we are making all the attempt not only grow internally and also expand the outside the geographies. So we have set up our campus in Pune. We are going to start the MBA program for working professionals from Pune. And 2022, Hyderabad, we are going to start our campus. And Nagpur, we already started working professional MBA program. And 2025, IM Nagpur is going to be ready to set up its campus in Southeast Asia, that is Singapore. So these are some of our plans. Executive education under the chairmanship of Professor Atul Pathak, we have made a beginning in the year 2020 December, and today we have crossed more than 20 crores of business in the corporate connectedness and training programs. So it is a remarkable achievement. And IM Nagpur is marching ahead to be a top 5 institutions in the country as far as executive education is concerned. I am sure that dream will come true in less than 5 years. So with this, I once again welcome all of you and welcome our guest of honor and Secretary General of SMF. And I wish a grand success of the conference SMS. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for those inspiring words.
Moving ahead, we would like to invite Dr. Arun Aditya Sai, Secretary General, SMF India and Dean Research, BIMTech, to address us with his valuable insights. His teaching and research interests are the area of strategic management, mergers and acquisitions, strategic alliance and joint ventures, innovation, entrepreneurship, sustainability and CSR. He was also the lead consultant in projects sponsored by the European Union, Government of India, and is a recipient of various Best Research and Case Writing Awards.
Good afternoon. Mr. Rath, Dr. Maitri, Professor Pathak, Professor Pandya. I am seeing Krishna Kumar on the screen, our beloved director, Dr. Chaturvedi, Mr. Sridharan, Mr. Sudeep Verma, other dignitaries here present, my dear students. It's my proud privilege to be interacting with you. Thank you for your very generous introduction. In fact, if I were to introduce myself, I will say by basic degree I am an engineer, by practice I have been a manager, but at heart I am a teacher. And that is what keeps me going on and on. And I'm really blessed to be with you all along. Now let me go back to the year 1997 when Professor Krishnamurti floated the idea, because even IIMs did not have a strategic management as a discipline. They used to call it business policy. And he had produced quite a few APMs, and later on he thought, and the process, how the business policy got converted into strategic management. And most of the time, since we were located in Lucknow, IIM Lucknow and IIT Kanpur had big interaction with us. It was a big public sector company employing 5,000 people at that time. And we were doing a lot of innovation thing, and a lot of new products we brought with the help of IIT Kanpur and IIM Lucknow. And even I recall way back around 1999, we had electric vehicles, more than 12,000 sold in partly in India, mostly in Nepal. And Bill Clinton had a ride on that. And after going back to USA, he wrote to the CEO of General Motors, Ford and Chrysler, if India can make, why can't you? So it was that pretext in which Professor Krishnamurti had come, and he asked that, Dr. Sahai, why can't we do something for Rally Top Managers for strategy and for our students in strategy? And then, of course, Krishna Kumar was there. So I said, what exactly you want? And we had a lot of chat. And he was to be the first chair. And actually, it is brainchild him. I was at the background supporting it from industry. And at that time, we were a union, a collaboration of industry and academia. But the first thing that we observed, that we had no teachers for teaching strategic management. They were in IIMs, there were some coming back from abroad, but university was in a very pathetic condition. So I had taken it to myself and the new people. I mean, places like Purvanchal University, Awadh University, XYZ, we went, we taught, and we found somebody in the name of a strategy. Somebody was teaching marketing, somebody was teaching operations, somebody was teaching economics. So it was a totally different world. And even today, many of the universities lack. And I must really congratulate, and I would say Professor Maitri is no more in operations management. He is the greatest strategist. You just see this campus, the way he has created the Pune campus coming up, Mumbai campus coming up, and later on going to Dubai. So I think I have to take lessons of strategy from him. And Professor and Mr. Rath, who is here, I have been a public sector man. I know how difficult the position of a CEO of a public sector chairman and managing director is. I recall my conversation, I would not like to name that minister. He called me and 1 minute started left and right, and then I had to say that, sir, Draupadi had only 5 husbands. We in public sector have at least 25 husbands. The local MA, the principal, the MP, the minister, the secretary, the joint secretary, whom to satisfy. But he very smartly said, but Mr. Sai, you know, that it hardly matters 5 or 25 husbands. Arjun to ek hi hota hai, no? अर्जुन तो एक ही होता है ना, वो मैं हूँ. Professor Vimra, I want to really congratulate you putting Arjuna in front of your gate. That's a great inspiration, and more for the students that we like Arjuna, absolutely focused, the eye of the fish. So that is where we started that. Let us make both the academic institution as well as industry. Most of the industry, let me tell you, in public sector did not have vision mission. Even in 1990s, 95s, we did not have. Then from Committee of Public Enterprise, COPE, and then Bureau of Public Enterprises, they started sending circulars that you create your. Likewise, institution, academic institution also did not have vision mission. And I recall going in many places, and I did for MDI, did for MTech, did for SAIL, did for BHU. And this morning I was hearing that I was in the accreditation session, and people were just talking, and really you need not copy anyone, you have to be original. So what we said, that this particular society will start training faculty for teaching strategic management. And then we started faculty management program. AICT supported us. And we said that you have to do 1 core course in strategic management and 5 elective courses. So 30 hours, 6 courses, if you complete, then we shall give you a certificate for being proficient in teaching strategic management. And I'm glad to see here some of the people who did that course, whom we call alumni. One sitting just in front, Professor Srinivasan, Iyengar, the director of Jamnalal Bajaj Institute, he also underwent that course. And many of our such alumni today are professors, directors, and vice chancellors. That yes, we have been really humbled to see them shining, and that gives a great sense of feeling. But then, like any organization, like any human life, you have ups and downs. And SM Forum also had some ups and downs. And when we were about to drown, it was Professor Bhimrai Mitri in another avatar, the director of IM3, that gave us lending hand, and we were again on the track. And since then, we are really moving up and up. 2017 was 1 year when we really missed this convention because of so many reasons. We were standing at the crossroad. We had different views, different philosophies. But finally, I mean, some view was that it has served its purpose, and we did not. So I was of the opinion that joint ventures are where you start with a purpose, and then once the purpose is fulfilled, one of the partners takes over, on, maybe it's closed or transferred. But we said it has to be in perpetuity, and we took that path, that decision. And since then, we have been moving up and up. We had 2018 conference in IIM Trichy, 2019 in IIM Lucknow, 2020 in IIM Ranchi, and this year you are here, IIM Nagpur, in this beautiful large campus. So we have been thinking of really the future, and the strategy is all about future. So what should be the future? There are so many ideas. And going around many academic institutions, I find that most of them have got, let's say, marketing club, debate club, X club, Y club. Only a very few have got strategic management club. So we would propose and request all academic heads to really create such a club, and let it be driven by students. And we are there, SMFI is there to support them. I mean, whatever. We would love to be with the students and let these clubs be led by the students. Should learn. The things are changing. And this morning only we had from Mr. Kohli gone are the days of competition. Now is the time of collaboration. And here also you are just seeing how nicely ISDSI and SMF has fused together to really share knowledge and to chart the future course of action. So this was one. Yet another was to start with maybe some newsletter to be later moved up to a status of journal where we could have, we could provide an outlet to students, research scholars, and those who are not able to publish, let us say, in a Scopus or ABDC, higher journals, probably we could provide them a platform from where they could start. So, and then today, I think public and private sector again are complementary. Likewise, even academic institution, IIMs, government-aided institution and private institution need to really collaborate and work together. So this would like to take to all leading B schools first, and maybe from there a lot of energy, a lot of ideas will come. So we have got a specific session tomorrow between 2:30 and 3:30, specific for SMF forum for discussion on these future plans. But one thing that I want to announce from this podium, that from this year we have started a prize, I would not say one prize, honoring a legend in strategic management with the Lifetime Award. And the same will be announced again tomorrow, and likewise Alumni Achievement Award also will be starting. All that will be announced tomorrow, and the awards will be given online tomorrow itself. But those who are physically present, those awards will be given in the valedictory session. Before I conclude, I would also like to tell the members present here that the board meeting for the SMF is tomorrow at 3:30, which will be followed by an annual general meeting, and everybody who registers in the conferences, they become member of a strategic management forum for a year. So those who have registered here, you all are members, and you all are invited in the AGM tomorrow. That will be followed by strategic management board meeting. That should be around somewhere 4 o'clock. So with that, I would once again like to thank IIM Nagpur, specifically Professor Vimrai Maitri, Professor Atul Pathak, Professor Saurabh Pandya, and last but not the least, Mr. Ranjit Rath, who has been so kind to come address us and really give us some practical lessons in strategic management, especially in these times of disruption. So with that, thank you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Moving on, we would like to invite a guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Rath, Chairman and Managing Director of MECL. Dr. Rath is the Chairman Combined Managing Director of Mineral Exploration Corporation Limited, a mini Ratna CPSC under the Ministry of Mines. A practitioner geoscientist, Dr. Rath is an alumnus of IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and Utkal University. He has a portfolio of multifarious roles, spanning from strategy formulation, business development, upstream asset management, and application of geosciences and exploration geology. Dr. Rath is a recipient of prestigious National Geosciences Award 2016 from the Honorable President of India.
Good afternoon. Professor Maitri, you made my day today. I can't say anything better than this. This is an opportunity to interact with the students of IIM Nagpur. That is what I was looking forward to. And ladies and gentlemen, rule number 1, always sit in the front. Come to the front. Don't let anybody else take these chairs. Come to the front. This is strategy number 1. Please understand, anything that you will do in your career or rest of your career is strategy, nothing else. So it is a golden opportunity to be part of SMF. I'm so thankful that Professor Sahai and Professor Maitri has carved out a niche forum called Strategic Management Forum. Now, formally, thank you very much for those gracious words. I feel humbled. The object is not that who am I? The object is ideas don't have hierarchies. Never ever refrain yourself if you have some breakthrough ideas, even in classrooms or in your future career endeavors. I must compliment IIM Nagpur and compliment each one of you, because I am told that you all have got placement. Such a golden period of your time that you are still studying and you have already placed. Being a student myself, when I was in your schools, it was a tough call. 90s, late 90s. So if you have got a campus placement, that means you were less than 2% privileged students of the country. When I say privileged students, that means you have got responsibilities now. So we will have a quick discourse of the strategy, what any CEO, it's not that I have done it, it would have been done by any other CEO, given an opportunity, given an responsibility. I look forward to people like Professor Sahai, who has got a long career span as CEO of public sector undertaking and associated with IIM. Professor Pathak, I keep interacting with. Professor Pandya, dignitaries of the dais, and I'm told that about 1,000 odd students, practitioners, academicians have joined us today. It speaks volumes, and I bow my head because for me, these educational institutes are nothing less than a temple. And whatever we are, irrespective of our positions, because ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हर कोई CEO बनेगा, ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हर कोई एक कंपनी की MD बनेगा. But whatever role we play, we must outperform ourselves, irrespective. Then the path is cut out for you. There will be somebody who will keep track of you and your good deeds. So this is applicable not for us for our professional career. This is also applicable for us in our personal level also. And strategy for me is whatever you do, what actions you think, because end of the day, what you do is you think through. If you don't plan, if you don't think through your moves, like if somebody is playing sports, badminton, TT, cricket, we all talk about 83 right now. So the whole issue is, if you think through, then you have a strategy already in place. Now, it is up to us to document it. And as IIM students, I must tell you, what is the distinction between being a student of IIM or other B schools? It is the case studies which are taught to you by your teachers. And in management, there is nothing called wrong or right. It is about taking a decision at the right point of time. So in all the case studies, you would see that your teachers would tell you how to adopt, how to accept, and how to approach for resolution of the problem. Only time will tell what decisions you have taken, whether that has turned out to be right or wrong. We are here to take decisions. We are not here to remain silent. We need leaders who want to assume responsibility. And this I tell to my own colleagues. I head an organization which is about 1,000 plus people. We have 35 plus is the average age. Means I have all the youngsters. I keep telling them, काम को तरासो, आपकी career खुद तरस जाएगी. So this is something we must practice. As far as disruption is concerned, we all have undergone a very transformational change to our approach to the life that we conduct ourselves, the way business is conducted. Now, one simple example, by virtue of hosting the event through a virtual conference, through Weblink, had increased the reach which otherwise would not have been possible. Similarly, I would also say that when somebody is hungering or longing for having a hunger or longing for knowledge, the options are bountiful today. When you want to imbibe one specific leader, YouTube platform gives you those opportunities to learn how even you prepare yourself for your campus placement interviews. Fortunately, you are a blessed generation, which Professor Pathak and me, we can take the liberty of saying we didn't have that. Now, what happened when I say that ideas don't have hierarchy, that means whenever there is a discussion going on, irrespective of your position or the portfolio, if you have some breakthrough ideas, try to pitch it. Now, how do you pitch it? One option is sometimes we do one thing that to hug the limelight, we try to pitch ourselves. This is where strategy थोड़ा सा change करना है. First, take your immediate boss into confidence. Create a kind of a buy-in, and then let your immediate boss take a pitch. It's not about securing credit. It's about seeing that your idea floats and goes right upstairs and gets implemented. Credit अपने आप बन जाएगा. That means when you create a buy-in, when you create an ecosystem of instead of I, we, that will be the differentiator. In a similar manner, one thing which we adopted in MECL, I'll draw parallels. One thing which we did in MECL, earlier we used to have two different kinds of uniform. One for executives, one for non-executives. The first thing that struck to me, and I'm sure that it's not me only who has done it, many people would have done it, and I'm getting an opportunity to share for you to learn. First thing we did, we said uniform has to be uniform, irrespective of executives or non-executives. Think about it, one stroke. It's not about saving money or otherwise, or zero saving. One stroke, you have the entire non-executive aligned to your thought. Tomorrow, when you will lead a team, you will have to work with them. You will have to eat with them. You will have to go to the field with them. Unless you have direct access to your team, unless you have a buy-in of your team, you will not be able to do what is expected of you. And it is the team which will actually deliver, not you. Another thing, when it was March 2020, just lockdown was announced, we had about 20 people, youngsters like you, as management trainee came to our office to join. Now, we had one option, now they cannot go back. So I started receiving frantic calls from their parents. What do we do? So with A, offices closed, B, I have 20 youngsters who want to join and they have already arrived. We said this is a golden opportunity to learn. And I'm sure every individual, best of their ability, must have used the work from home opportunity to learn and relearn. So we said, let us give them training by putting them in the guest house. So for 3 months, entire training program was conducted at that age. And today we have got a workforce which is raring to go. And I would again thank Professor Maitri to kind of giving us those kind words. MECL did outperform during the COVID times the last 48 years record. And again in 2021, last 49 years record. So we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee celebration. Now the credit is not of mine. The credit goes to every individual, right from the bottommost staff position to the general managers and executive directors and also the directors. It is the team effort. Now what has happened, despite this COVID conditions, the job of the CMD was to facilitate and gave them the bandwidth or the flexibility to operate. What we did, we said it is the responsibility of the general managers to see how many people would come to office or how many people would work from home. No questions asked. That gave us a buy-in and every individual worked without stoppage. We said, despite having this constraints of travel, we said if there is a shift change, there is a 15 days on off change, you can travel by availing taxis. This is something every other PSU must have done, and I'm not saying that MECL has done only, but these small things actually help to get a workforce which started believing on the target which has been assigned. One more thing, when we talk about strategy, one basic premises on every individual works is that we own our own destiny. Every decision, every choices that you make today should be an informed decisions. Sometimes it is not possible, but then everybody is not privileged to have the liberty or comfort of liking and doing the same thing. Sometimes we tend to be under peer pressure, under pressures of perceived notion to do something which we don't like. So if we are privileged, exercise that. What your heart says, do that. Time will pay off. It is not essential, again, it's not essential to become the CMD, but it is essential to become someone where अमिताभ बच्चन की जो स्टाइल है मुझे अच्छा लगता है, हमेशा मैं उसी को कहता हूं, बी ए प्रोफेशनल कि आप जहां से खड़े होते हो वहीं से लाइन शुरू हो. That's the kind of command you should have on your skill set or on your craft, where people would like to come and listen to you. And the academicians that we have, the teachers that we have who shape our career, they are best at their craft. Over a period of time, by interacting with students, by interacting with faculties, by interacting with academicians, by interacting with industry stalwarts, they sharp their skill and then they help you to sharp your skill. So this duration of formative years of 2 years is actually something which prepares a foundation. The rest is your own destiny, how you articulate yourself. We will talk about a couple of terms as part of strategy, which is very, very specific and individualistic. Number one, be responsive and look for responsibilities. It is very difficult. It's very easier said than done. You will have to toil hard, but assume responsibilities. That's going to be your hallmark of your career growth. Second, respect for others. We might have a team of 10 working together for a project or assignment which you would have already done. As you will grow in your career, you would have competition. It's good, it is healthy, but with respect, it becomes a very congenial workforce. Then inter-respect gives you a kind of a team structure. I keep telling this in my organization. We practice this through training. And one more thing, when you are taking training today, you would be imparted certain skills, but it is the trainer who gives the feedback to the management, and the management gets the feedback from the training sessions, how individually you are responding to those training. That is exactly what we did in MECL. We inducted training programs for executives and for non-executives. You would have different feedbacks from the set of executives and from the set of non-executives. And basis that, it is the management decision which is adopted. So this works as a feedback. So it actually helps both ways. So one is responsibility, second is respect for others. It is not necessary that you will be successful in whatever you touch, in whatever you do. There will be ups and downs. There will be failures. But for all that practical matter, failure is actually a learning curve. So what is important is you must imbibe something called a resilience approach. And these failures must be documented for future references, because it is not a failure, it is actually an effort which has not yielded the result it was intended to. So your bosses, your management is well aware of it. Therefore, resilience is something which is very, very crucial, and that is also one strategic approach. We did face a stumbling block in the first 9 months till December, rather November last year. We had a meeting, and normally we generally, every other organization organizes such meetings of the senior management, of the workers, of the project managers. So we rescheduled our productivity and we surpassed all the records because of the productivity of the last 4 months. So let's not have failure come on our way. It's just a stepping stone to learn. Now, the next important thing is, how do you reskill yourself? That's a continuous process. Don't stop learning. Now, after MBA, you would find opportunities to have short courses. You would find opportunities to have executive courses. If need be, the organization supports. Because I am a benefactor of such reskilling approach. I have been privileged to have good bosses. That makes the difference. And I have been privileged to have good mentors. That made the difference. So always start looking at reskilling in your career, because for me, what I feel is these are those strategies which you would engage with, or you would adopt, or you would employ. Finally, give opportunities as you grow in your career to your youngsters. They are your future next. You must create another you to replace. Never ever behave or assume that you are replaceable. In the value chain of professionalism, it is every individual is dispensable. So create another you. or not one, create 10 of you as you grow in your career. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure interacting with you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. We now request Dr. Bhimraya Mitri to present our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Rath, with an expression of our gratitude, a memento. We now request Dr. Mitri to present Dr. Arun Aditya with an memento as an expression of our gratitude. Thank you, sir. Now we would like to invite Dr. Atul Pathak, Conference Chair, for proposing the vote of thanks and providing the concluding remarks. Dr. Atul Pathak is a faculty in the area of strategy and entrepreneurship and the chairperson of executive education programs at IIM Nagpur.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is my pleasure and my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks. First of all, I wish to express my gratitude to God Almighty for blessing us all and for giving us all the courage to embark on this ambitious journey. A few months ago, when we started this journey to organize this conference, many of us had serious doubts about where we would be and how this would turn out. But I'm so happy to be standing here at the end of this function, at the inauguration function, and proposing a vote of thanks to all of you. And it cannot be or would not have been possible without some punya from some past lives that all of us have accumulated together, which has helped us reach here. I express my sincerest gratitude to our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Rath. Dr. Ranjit, you are a true well-wisher and a friend of IIM Nagpur. You have been and you will be. And we greatly appreciate your involvement and your encouragement in everything that IIM Nagpur does. Whenever we have approached you with a request to help us on something, you have always found time in your very, very busy schedule and helped us. Thank you so much, sir. Ranjit ji, as a faculty in the strategy area, you made my day by starting your speech by saying to our students here that everything you do in your career from this point forward is strategy. So thank you for that. I did not plant that statement onto him. Your views on resilience, decision-making, reskilling, and your experience of leading MECL through the crisis that we've all faced are well taken indeed. Thank you for sharing those with us. Your words, as usual, were truly inspirational, and I'm sure everybody in the audience is truly enthused by them. I wish to thank Dr. Arun Aditya Sahai, Secretary General of SMF. You amaze us, sir, with your infectious energy and your drive and the passion with which you lead the Strategic Management Forum. Your overview of the journey that SMF has traversed over the years was truly inspirational. Thank you for sharing that with us, with all of us. I wish to express my gratitude to Dr. Bhimraya Mitri, Conference Patron and Director of IIM Nagpur, for his visionary leadership his guidance, and his encouragement. Without your leadership, we would not have reached where we are today, and the conference and everybody involved with it is truly thankful for that. I thank my co-conference chair, Professor Saurabh Pandya, who spent many sleepless nights in the last few weeks to get all of this organized. Thank you, Saurabh. The faculty members in the organizing committee of the SMF conference, all my faculty colleagues at IIM Nagpur, and everybody else involved from IIM Nagpur for their dedicated efforts behind the scene to get us where we are today. I also wish to thank numerous distinguished academicians and industry leaders from India and overseas who've played various roles in this conference till now and who have agreed to be track chairs, panel members, reviewers, etc. to get to where we are today with the SMF conference. Most of all, I wish to thank all our distinguished participants and conference attendees who have joined us in person at IIM Nagpur or are joining us and attending this in an online mode. Without your support, the conference would have been much diminished. I greatly appreciate the efforts of our wonderful student volunteers who have tirelessly worked and taken on responsibilities to help make this gathering possible. Last but not the least, my sincere gratitude to the administrative staff of IIM Nagpur who put in tremendous effort to ensure that everything is in place to ensure a successful beginning of this conference. Finally, I wish all our distinguished guests and participants a great experience at the SMF 2021 conference at IIM Nagpur, and we look forward to interacting with all of you throughout the conference. Your presence and participation in the SMF conference has added tremendous value to the SMF conference 2021, and we look forward to a long and fruitful ongoing relationship with each one of you. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. We have now come to the conclusion of the event. We would request everyone to please stand for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
We wish all the participants a very healthy stay at IIM Nagpur. Request all the online participants to share your emotions with the reactions feature in the Zoom while we click a picture to conclude this session. We would like to invite everyone present over here for a group photo. After that, you all can go ahead for the high tea present outside.